LeSabre for 1985, still the nameplate with the highest recognition of any Buick car line. There are several groups of loyal Buick buyers, plus many conquest prospects, who will want to own a vehicle this roomy and impressive. Retired couples, for instance. Older buyers who feel that having to get used to a smaller car at this point in their lives is unacceptable. With LeSabre, you can show them they don't have to. Younger, traditional, or larger families. People whose lifestyle requires full-size comfort for long trips with a lot of baggage and vacation equipment. Don't forget the traditional buyers, ranging from full-size luxury car buyers to busy professionals whose careers depend on arriving relaxed and ready for business. And fleet operators who always look for the best return on their investments. LeSabre also makes a superb executive and lease car. When you're working with a LeSabre prospect, keep in mind that feature for feature, dollar for dollar, the 1985 LeSabre is a most impressive value. One final note. Every feature you're about to see is standard, unless we tell you otherwise. Now let's take a look at the way to make an effective LeSabre walk-around presentation.
Hello. I really appreciate you and Mrs. Jones taking the time to drop by the dealership. I noticed you drove up in a full-size car, and I think you're very wise to be looking at the 1985 LeSabre. Because if you like full-size comfort, you're going to love this new LeSabre. This is the collector's limited edition sedan. Quite honestly, it's one of the most elegant LeSabres Buick has ever sold. And this is just one of the stylish new exterior colors for 1985. The grille is new this year, and it blends perfectly with the front end. The bumper guards and rub strips are standard and help your LeSabre in parking lot situations. And the bumper is lightweight, which helps improve efficiency, too. I'll bet these optional tungsten halogen headlights are new to you. They make nighttime driving easier because they give off more than twice the light of standard sealed beam units. Let's take a look under the hood. I've already opened it. It's equipped with an inside release that acts as a theft deterrent. Notice this under the hood light. The LeSabre is just full of extra little details that make it comforting to own a Buick. This Delco Freedom 2 Plus battery is another example of Buick value. Maybe you don't give much thought to your battery, unless it gives you trouble. But this one generates considerably more power than the batteries of just a few years ago. It requires no maintenance. And frankly, Mrs. Jones, it's just one less thing to worry about. I'll bet this engine looks more complicated than yours. Well, this engine is more complex because every new Buick has at least one computer that helps regulate the air-fuel mixture and other functions. You know, Buick is famous for its availability of V6 engines. And one of the finest is this 3.8-liter V6 with the two-barrel carburetor. It's standard on the LeSabre. The V6 engines are improved every year, and this one is very dependable. Most people never think about it, but taking weight out of cars can improve them in several ways. For example, putting this aluminum intake manifold in not only saves weight, which helps improve mileage, it also helps cold weather operation because the engine warms up faster. That's sure useful in this neck of the woods. Mrs. Jones, I'd like you to take a good look at these tires. These are steel-belted radial ply all-season tires. These all-season tires qualify as snow tires in parts of the country where snow tires are required. Another good thing is there's no annoying snow tire whine you get with most snow tires on dry roads. But the reason I thought you might be interested is that your husband won't have to change tires twice a year anymore. While we're here, I want to mention the power front disc brakes. They not only have smooth stopping power, they're equipped with special low-drag calipers that also decrease rolling resistance and help save fuel. They also have an audible wear indicator which makes a chirping sound when it's time to replace the brake pads. Again, one less thing to worry about. You know, when people spend good money for a car this luxurious, they like to know it will keep on looking good. Well, Buick has taken a number of steps to make that happen. Take these wheel opening moldings, for example. They not only look good, but they help protect the finish in this part of the car that gets a lot of wear. All 1985 LeSabres are also protected by the plastisol sprayed on this lower part of the car before the paint and molding go on. Plastisol is tough, and it helps reduce stone chipping in this exposed area. Now, these body side moldings also help keep the car looking as good as it does right now. And notice how the color coordinates with the car. Look at these wraparound taillights. Now, every car has taillights, but these highly visible taillights have become a kind of Buick trademark. Now let me show you the trunk. If you travel a lot, there's nothing as convenient as a big, roomy trunk. Back seat should be for people, not luggage. Just look at this trunk light. If you're loading or unloading at night, there's nothing more helpful. I see you're looking at the LeSabre tire, Mrs. Jones. It's another real convenience. See how light it is? It's much easier to handle if you ever have to replace one of the regular tires temporarily. And it also takes up a lot less space. Now, this side frame jack is also lightweight and easy to operate. Okay, I'll bet you can't wait to look at the inside. Notice when I open this rear door, the overhead courtesy light will come on. Again, it's a small detail, but a real Buick convenience. With some cars, that rear door light switch is optional. Mrs. Jones, would I be right in assuming that you get to sit in the back seat more than Mr. Jones does when you're out riding with friends, for example? Well, just try these full foam seats. There's room for 3 adults back here, and these armrests are standard, too. Now, before we get in the front seat, let me point out a few details here at the driver's door. This chrome side view mirror is remote control and standard on all LeSabres. These optional automatic electronic door locks unlock all the doors. Now, LeSabre's front passenger compartment is filled with Buick's fine traditional touches. But before I go over them with you, I'd like to show you this very special history of the LeSabre, which comes with the limited collector's edition. It's really a wonderful keepsake of this elegant car. And you'll also receive this limited collector's edition key set and chain. Nice, isn't it? Now, let me show you something else. Notice this luxurious cut pile carpeting. It's soft and durable. And there are courtesy lights in all the convenient places. This one overhead, which comes on when the door opens, and others here on the instrument panel, the front ashtray, and inside the roomy glove compartment. And if you leave the headlights on accidentally, you'll hear this warning chime, which also sounds if the key is left in the ignition. It's standard in the limited collector's edition. And you'll hear it also to remind you to use your seat belts. Now, many of the interior colors are new this year, and there's new upholstery fabric on the custom models. Notice these front seats are 50-50, each separately adjustable. And are they comfortable? You know, these seats are one of the things that make the limited collector's edition a special kind of car. It's the first time we've ever offered a 50-50 split seat in a LeSabre. Now, this multifunction control lever places the controls you use most right at your fingertips. Turn signal, the 2-speed windshield wipers and washer, the high-low headlight beam selector, and the optional cruise control. Now, it's completely electronic and has both resume and acceleration features. And you can adjust your speed up or down 1 mile an hour at a time by just touching the correct control. Now, I bet you like to listen to music when you take trips, or even just driving around town. Well, there's a broad range of first-class Delco radio options, from a basic AM radio, which may be deleted for credit, all the way up to this electronically tuned AM-FM combination with a graphic equalizer, cassette tape player, and digital clock. You really seem interested in this LeSabre, and I could stand here and talk about it all day. But the real test is to drive it yourself. So let's take it out for a drive, and you'll really get to know what a wonderful car it is. Then when we get back, I can show you the special gifts you'll get when you buy this LeSabre Limited Collector's Edition. There's more good news for 1985 LeSabre buyers. The LeSabre station wagon is returning to the lineup in both 6 and optional 8-passenger models. LeSabre wagons, with the second seat down, will cart this mountain of empty beverage cans back to the grocery store. That's 87 cubic feet worth. The standard engine for the LeSabre wagon is the 5-liter V8 with a 4-barrel carburetor. For your LeSabre customers interested in a 2-door, here is the custom coupe in one of the new colors for 85, light chestnut. Now let's review the important LeSabre product changes for 1985. A new model lineup: LeSabre Custom 2-door Coupe and 4-door Sedan, LeSabre Limited Collector's Edition 2-door Coupe and 4-door Sedan, LeSabre Estate Station Wagon, new grille, many new exterior colors, new wide-brushed body side molding for LeSabre Limited Collector's Edition, many new interior colors, a new fabric for custom models. The 4.1-liter V6 is dropped from the available engines. The 5.7-liter V8 diesel is not available on the custom coupe. PowerMaster brakes are standard on the estate wagon with gas engine.
That's a correct answer. Good work. Let's see what's next. Congratulations! You got that one right. Let's go on. That answer is right. You really know your stuff. Right again. You're very, very smart. You goofed. Let's go back and look at that section again. I'm sorry, that's not right. Let's review that material. That's another wrong answer. We'll go back to that section. You missed again on the same car. Please pay very close attention while I review this material for you.
Not only because of the number of cars we want to sell, but also from a product point of view, the 1985 Century stands at the crossroads of Buick products. It's the heart of the Buick lineup, offering a great variety of models. The Century is the car you can sell to Skylark owners and prospects who are ready to move up to a bigger car. It's also the car you can present with confidence to the import-oriented buyer who has eyes for a fine European sedan but can't make the payments. Another Century prospect is the traditional mid-size buyer, plus the traditional buyer who may no longer need a full-size car but wants to stay with a Buick. Still other prospects are interested in very contemporary station wagons with front-wheel drive, the Century Custom and Estate wagons. And finally, for particular mid-size buyers, there are the T-type coupe and sedan, 9 widely distinct Century models that give you your greatest strength right where you need it, in mid-size upscale cars. One final note, all the features mentioned in the Century walk-around are standard unless otherwise specified. To present the 1985 Century walk-around, here's Adrian Collier of Dale Buick in Littleton, Colorado, the Buick salesperson who won the 1984 presentation of the Century contest. As you'll see, Adrian's enthusiasm has not decreased one bit. And this year, he'll show you how he uses a demonstration drive to sell cars.
Hello, and welcome to Dale Buick in Littleton. My name's Adrian Collier, and I'd like to thank you and the family for stopping by. Tell me, what questions can I answer for you today? Oh, you'd like to see what Buick has to offer in a mid-sized luxury car? Well, that's great, because it gives me the opportunity to tell you about something that I have a tremendous amount of pride in, a car that's both stylish and technologically advanced. Take a good look at the competition, and I think you'll agree that what you're about to see is truly a remarkable car. As a matter of fact, all of the cars we have compete in nearly all segments of the marketplace. I really have products to be proud of. Over here is the car I'd like to show you. This is the 1985 Buick Century Custom Sedan. Economy, luxury, and style, all in one package. Let's walk around this Century, and I'll show you what I mean. Notice first how clean the lines of the all-new grille flow nicely into the integrated body-colored bumpers and sloped hood. These lines go back up over the flush-mounted windshield, across the straight roof line, and on back down to the squared-off rear deck treatment. I'm sure you'll agree that it's a beautiful and contemporary look. But the best part of all is that this styling is functional. The engineers at Buick would call this shape aerodynamically slippery. What that means to you is that it only takes 12 horsepower to move your Century down the highway at 55 miles an hour. And that contributes to Century's impressive fuel economy. My wife and the children and myself took a trip recently to see my mother-in-law in Omaha. We took my Century. That's right, I do own one. It was my prize for the presentation of the Century contest last year. Anyway, about that trip. It's about 550 miles, and I got excellent gas mileage. And when my wife drives around town, she's right on the money for the city mileage. A lot of it's up to you, but I think you'll do quite well. I'll show you some other features that add to fuel efficiency. Now take a close look at the quality of the paint. Robotic painting techniques have been developed for consistent quality paint application. First, we use primer over the entire automobile, and then plastisol is applied in the critical areas, above the primer and under the paint. This reduces rock and chip damage and helps fight corrosion, and then it's painted. And the result is what you see. Now that's what I call attention to detail. Of course, some of Century's best features are under the hood. Century features an inside hood release for two reasons: to act as a theft deterrent and easy access to the engine compartment. Look how easy it is to open the hood. That's because the springs and counterbalances that could be on the hood of your trade-in are not on this car. Instead, a gas strut is used. That, coupled with lightweight metals, makes lifting the hood a one-hand operation. Let's look under the hood. Century's front-wheel drive. It's probably its most important selling feature. Front-wheel drive is efficient because power doesn't have to travel along a differential or drive shaft. It goes directly to the wheels that do the work. Because a differential or drive shaft isn't needed, there's a dramatic reduction in the weight. That means additional fuel savings. With front-wheel drive, the engine is transversely mounted. It's turned sideways like this. That means the hood and engine compartment are shortened. Yet the passenger compartment and trunk remain roomy. Now comes the real benefit of all that weight reduction. Since Century's now so much lighter, smaller engines can be used and still get the kind of pulling power Century's always had. Here are the choices: a 2.5-liter electronic fuel-injected 4-cylinder engine that offers remarkable economy together with outstanding performance; an optional 4.3-liter diesel that offers even greater fuel economy for drivers who put on a lot of miles; or the optional 3-liter V6. Also available is the engine in this car, a 3.8-liter multi-port fuel-injected engine. By the way, this engine is standard on the T-type. You'll get great power, performance, and economy with any choice. There are some good ideas with the way the engines are put in with you in mind. First, a Freedom battery is used, so you won't have to worry about maintenance for its lifetime. Then, visible fluid bottles are used for the coolant recovery system, windshield washer, even the master brake fluid. And the oil and transmission dipsticks are easily accessible. This is truly an engine compartment that makes maintenance easy. Now that this great power plant is under the hood, ways were found to keep it quiet. It's insulated well. There's thick under-hood insulation, cut-pile carpeting in the passenger compartment, extra dead spaces in the doors. Even the carpeting in the trunk all contributes to a quiet and peaceful ride. Did you ever drive downtown and stop for a traffic light on a warm summer day? You've got the windows rolled down, and sure enough, the road repair crew is operating 3 jackhammers. It's so noisy, it sounds like they're all inside the car with you. Well, just roll up those windows and put the optional air conditioner on, because this Century is so well insulated, it will help keep outside noises out. When you're traveling around, you'll need to use that trunk of yours. Well, it's enormous. There's 16.2 cubic feet of trunk space and a flat floor, and that means you can carry just about anything you need. When we took that trip to Omaha, we brought enough clothes for about a week. Let's see, we had 2 suitcases, a 2-suiter, a makeup case, numerous toys and gifts, including a small bicycle, a box of diapers, and all our coats. About the only things we had to put in the passenger compartment were some cassette tapes, a map, and a box of cookies. And all that luggage in the trunk was protected by the trunk trim carpeting. The compact spare tire is stored in its own compartment under the flat floor of the trunk. It's lightweight, so it adds to Century's efficiency, and it's easy to change. Of course, some of Century's best features are in the passenger compartment. You can carry 6 adults with comfort. I could fit all 6'2" of me in the back seat and have headroom and knee room. Watch. As for the fabric we're sitting on, it's a luxurious and durable cloth that will stand up well. Now let's take a look at what's up front. Notice this seat? It's a 55-45 notchback. Optional in this custom, and it's really great. Because of the way the dashboard is recessed on the right, your passengers will have plenty of knee room. And all the items that the driver and passenger need to share, the air conditioner, radio, and ashtray, are accessible to both. Now for the driver's side. The first thing you'll notice when you sit behind the wheel is how good the visibility is. The pillars don't obstruct your vision. You can see in all directions for maneuvering through a tight parking lot, parallel parking, or passing on the highway. The instrumentation is easy to see, and the toggle switches for the headlights, map light, and optional rear defogger are neat features. The bright and low beam switch for the headlights is on the turn signal indicator, along with the windshield wipers and washers, and optional cruise control. Now that's what I call a smart switch. Funny, that's what Buick calls it too. What do you say we go outside and take a Century just like this for a ride? Starting your Century's a breeze because of the electronic ignition. Here, let's turn up the optional Delco stereo just a bit and head on into traffic. The first thing you notice about Century is how fast it accelerates. We're already at 35 miles an hour and we haven't gone very far. The steering is rack and pinion, and that means remarkable responsiveness. The braking system is disc in the front and drum in the rear, and that means you'll have smooth stops. Let me show you something else that's incredible. Watch how tight this Century turns. I don't know about you, but I like that kind of maneuverability. Incredible, isn't it? Well, I've had my fun, and in a minute or two, you're going to have yours. But before you sit in the driver's seat, I'd like to tell you a little about the safety features that are built into Century. Of course, the obvious features are manual lap and shoulder belts for the driver and right front passenger, and manual lap belts for the center front passenger and in the rear. But in addition, add to that an energy-absorbing steering column, energy-absorbing instrument panel, and energy-absorbing front seat back headrests. Such things as laminated safety windshield glass and a pressure lock radiator cap are included. Side marker lights and reflectors, dual master brake cylinder system, four-way hazard warning flashers, and much more. I think you'll agree that that's an impressive list of safety features. Well, this is it, the 1985 Century Custom Sedan. Luxury, technology, style, all in all a classy package. And the best news of all is it's still a Buick. Now it's your turn to drive. Hop in behind the driver's seat and let me show you how these controls work. Before we go over the important product changes on the 1985 Century, I'd like to re-emphasize a couple of points. First, demonstrate, demonstrate, demonstrate. I sell my cars from the minute I shake my customer's hand until he decides to buy the car. I know a lot of salespeople treat the walk around and the demo drive as two separate steps. For me, they are one and the same. I use the demo drive to create desire to buy. Second, don't forget to mention the super economy and performance of the standard 2.5-liter engine and the super efficient optional 4.3-liter diesel. Let's review the important Century product changes for 1985. New hood and grille, many new exterior colors, new heavily padded Landau vinyl top available with specific interior and exterior quarter treatment, many new interior colors, new custom seat sew pattern, new wood grain molding on custom door, new limited door trim, new hydraulic engine mount,